Well, hello again, everyone. John Johnson here with Just a Thought. Well, you will take note of the fact that I am not in my studio today. The quality of the broadcast is not up to those standards. We are actually visiting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we are doing grandparent duty for the next several days. That you will take note of my shirt, the greatest poppy in the galaxy. But I digress. And Monday is a very special holiday on the calendar. It is Memorial Day. Now, often Memorial Day gets confused with a tribute to our brave men and women that serve in our United States military. That is not the intent. There are other days that we celebrate those brave men and women living who are serving in our armed forces. But Memorial Day is set aside for a very unique and special reason. The first national observance of Memorial Day occurred on May 30th, 1868. It was known then as Decoration Day, and it was observed on May 30th, the holiday proclaimed by the Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic in order to honor Union soldiers who had died in the American Civil War. This national observance followed many local observances which were inaugurated between the end of the Civil War and Logan's declaration. Many cities and many people have claimed to be the first to observe it. However, the National Cemetery Association, or administration, I should say, a division of the Department of Veterans Affairs, credits one Mary Ann Williams with originating the idea of strewing the graves of Civil War soldiers, both Union and Confederate, with flowers. Official recognition as a holiday spread among the states, beginning in New York in 1873. By 1890, every Union state had adopted it. The World Wars turned this day into a day of remembrance for all members of the United States military who fought and died in service. Finally, in 1968, Congress changed its observance to the last Monday in May, and in 1971 standardized the name as Memorial Day. In tribute to Memorial Day and to those brave men and women who have given, as Abraham Lincoln put it, the last full measure of devotion, I offer this. On the afternoon of November 19th, 1863, politician, pastor, educator, diplomat, and orator from Massachusetts, Edward Everett gave a 2-hour speech at the dedication of the Soldiers' National Cemetery at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. No one remembers anything he said. However, out of sheer courtesy, President Abraham Lincoln, who, by the way, was not well regarded at that point in his presidency, was asked by the organizing committee to make a few remarks at the actual moment of dedication. Lincoln spoke just 268 well-chosen words. Everyone remembers them. And Lincoln, now regarded as one of our greatest leaders, took the opportunity to share these words. And so today, on this Sunday, May 25th, 2025, I offer in commemoration of the brave men and women who have given the last full measure of devotion to preserve our republic, I give you this, Lincoln's speech. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, and both living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is then for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. John Johnson here, and on this Sunday, May 25th, 2025. That's just a thought.